What's going on, everybody? I am Perry White. I'm the host of the Jaguar Journal. I want to make sure that you guys tune in live each and every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 107.3 FM. We also have our affiliates in Alexandria, Louisiana, as well as down in New Orleans. And if you're not able to catch us on radio live, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as follow us on Facebook. It's the Jaguar Journal.
Opinionated, outspoken, informative. The Jaguar Journal. Your source for the latest information on Southern University sports and SWAC athletics. A Baton Rouge sports talk tradition.
Early on a Saturday morning, we are getting started. It is the Jaguar Journal. Good morning to everybody. A couple technical difficulties here in the studio, but nonetheless, it's not going to stop the show. Hope everybody had a great week, and we getting the show started early this morning. I got two guests here in the studio, and listen, she is the head volleyball coach at Southern University, Coach Dawn Barnes.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. And not only Coach Dawn Barnes, we got Jaguar Jackson in the building as well. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, let's talk about volleyball. We jump right in it. Coach Dunn, you just wrapped up your first season and coming in and making a statement in terms of your program. You guys made it into the opening round of the volleyball tournament last year. You fell short to Jackson State, but nonetheless, in year one, you're building something. Talk about the program and just coming into the culture at Southern because you're familiar with the HBCU space, right? I saw you were at South Carolina State. You were at Howard. You've been around at Pittsburgh and some other places, George Mason. Just talk about your coaching background and what you're trying to establish here with the program.
Well, first of all, thank you for having us. Thank you for having us on your show this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to thank A.D. Banks and Ms. Sturgis for this opportunity here at Southern University. And wow, it's definitely been a journey. I've been at a lot of stops, like you said, Howard, George Mason, Pitt. But every opportunity that I've had, I've always wanted to come back into the HBCU. I feel like I want to give back to the athletes that look like me.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up in a PWI neighborhood school, I wasn't that fortunate to be around athletes and other players that look like me. So now that I have the opportunity to do that, I'm very excited. So much talent, so much culture. This opportunity at Southern has just been a blessing, and I came in and I inherited a program that was kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, A.D. Banks called me. I was sitting on my couch and said, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I said, "I'm sitting on my couch," and he told me what was happening here at Southern, and I got on a plane and came out, and I came back 2 more times, and I'm here.
Now, we got Jaguar Jackson here in the studio as well. You're going to talk from a different perspective in terms of booster, trying to get support and resources to this volleyball program. Talk about that.
Yes, I'm so excited to be here, Jaguar Nation, and I'm here in support of Coach Barnes and the Southern University volleyball program. I was one of the first to win a conference championship at Southern, and I have to pause and give our head coach, and I have to say this, if you know him, often imitated but never duplicated, the legendary Coach Nathaniel Deneau, who has been just a tower in the volleyball world, and he's been a father figure and a mentor to many of us. And so we as alum are excited about supporting this program, and I think it's a great weekend to be in Louisiana with Super Bowl in New Orleans, just an hour away. And so we're looking for donors and people who are interested in supporting this program.
Yeah. Now, if anybody out there who wants to be a part of that, to see the support go to this program, what do they need to do? How do they get in contact you? What are the different avenues for that to happen?
Well, one of the best ways that they can get in contact with me right now, since we're just starting this, is to contact Coach Barnes at Southern University, and I think she's going to give her information out. They can reach out to her, and she's going to get that information to us. We have some alum that are in town this weekend to support an event that we're having today. So we've kind of just got this started, but we're super excited about it.
And for you, Coach Barnes, looking at this program, what are resources, support that you need to get this program where you want to see it in terms of the tradition of, like she said, winning and getting it back to hosting up that SWAC Championship trophy?
Absolutely. I think at the end of the day, we need donors to come in and help us. The makeup of the facility that we're playing in at Seymour Hall, getting us equipment to make us more efficient in the gym. And then we need equipment. We just need, gear, equipment, things like that to keep us maintained throughout the season and after. And the continued support. The support will allow fans in the stands, which is what is the ultimate goal. And yeah, I'm just grateful for Deborah and like she said, the legendary Coach Deneau. He's been an inspiration to me since I've stepped foot on campus, and so he's definitely helping me out as well.
Now, I always like to have this conversation with coaches because we live in this ever-changing world of athletics, right? And we often talk about the basketball and football of the world, but when it pertains to volleyball, what does NIL and the transfer portal look like, and how does it affect the world of even you dealing with volleyball?
Oh, that's a great question. The transfer portal right now is every coach's, I want to say it could be a blessing and a curse. For me right now, it's definitely a blessing. I'm definitely attracting a lot of kids in the transfer portal, and I'm happy to say I've got 2 coming in the transfer portal. As far as the NIL, I think Southern University is just getting on the map with that and getting acclimated to that, so that's still in progress, but those are 2 very key components that we're looking to build on.
And even with recruiting, because we have people that listen from all across the country, what are you looking for when you bring in a young lady, when you step foot in their home, or you're traveling, you're recruiting, or you're having conversations? What are you looking for out of a student athlete to be a part of your program?
You said the key word, student. I want someone that's a great student, getting it done in the classroom first, because that transfers to the court. GPA, coming from a solid family background, playing the sport itself. You have to have a volleyball IQ to play the sport at this level. So just making certain that I'm balancing out that, and just athletes, people that are getting it done on and off the court and wanting to be at Southern University.
Now, I don't know where the hotbeds for volleyball are. Like, some people say, you go here, you go there. What are the hotbeds for volleyball, and what is the state of high school volleyball? Because, you can get out the transfer portal, but you also, you bring in a high school student, you develop them, you bring them through the program. What does volleyball, the state of high school volleyball, look like here first at home in the state of Louisiana? And where are those hotbeds that you look to go to possibly pull some of those student athletes?
Believe it or not, when I do my recruiting, I always look in my backyard first, because I feel like there's some untapped talent that a lot of coaches don't necessarily get an opportunity to see. I'm super excited. We've got 2 kids from Louisiana coming, 2 Southern that have already committed, and one's from New Orleans, and both of them are actually from New Orleans. And then obviously the hub of volleyball is Texas. And then,
Texas.
All right.
And then it's from my hometown in Chicago, the Midwest. We attract a lot of athletes there, California, Florida. But, Texas is where, a lot of the athletes are coming from. I think I have, 6 athletes from the Houston area currently right now. So, yeah. And then there's the internationals getting big, too. So it's a plethora coming from all over.
And Deborah, you talking about your relationship to the program and coming from a program that, at that time was here.
Right.
Talk about that experience, and you coming to Southern clearly from Texas, so just that experience and being a part of this program and wanting to see it get back to that.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to her. I think alums can help a lot in sending great players to Southern University. I know that I've done that in the past, I just want to also talk about the fact that we won 3 conference championships, made about 10 appearances in the finals. I think we won 1988 conference championship, 1993, and 1998. And so we want to see this program get back to the glory days. And also we were talking about needs. In order to attract that top talent, we've got to have great facilities. We got to have, gear. I was just talking to a high school soccer coach the other day, and they've got 5 different jerseys that they wear. And so we want to be able to give that same thing to young ladies when they come here to Southern. As you know, as women, when we look good, we feel good, and we play great. And so that's what we're trying to get back to.
And looking at the overall program, when you came in, looking at this program and now moving forward, what was your thoughts after year 1?
Oh, I'm excited about year 1. We had a great year. I mean, beating Grambling, sweeping Grambling twice, and then just seeing the talent and where we started in August to how we finished in November was unbelievable, and the girls finally bought in. And a lot of times these young ladies haven't come from winning programs, so they don't know what it feels like to have that success. And then when you get a little bit of that success, then it's like, hey, we can do this. And so we know that we're capable of doing it, so now we just need to build off of it.
And talking with Deborah, talking about the support and being the booster and trying to give you resources, what are ways people can get in contact with you if they want to be a part of this program that are out there listening?
There's 2 ways. My email is dawn.barnes, BARNES, @sus.edu. I can also provide a Southern University Foundation link as well that will allow patrons to, click on the link and donate that way as well.
And quick question before I get ready to let you guys go. What is the state of SWAC volleyball currently when you look at the landscape of it?
SWAC volleyball is getting bigger and bigger. Obviously, our top competitors are the FAMUs and the Jackson States, but, I mean, we are now competing.
2 teams we do not like.
Yes.
So we're now competing with a lot of the PWIs. We had an opportunity to go to New Mexico. I mean, we're playing, the Stanfords, and, we're doing things like that. So we're getting our name out there. It's just, it may take, a little bit longer to get there, but we're definitely getting there. So the SWAC conference is definitely a force to be reckoned with, and Southern University volleyball is right up there with them.
Well, I want to thank you guys for coming in the studio and giving us some insight into the program. It's great to be able to have you on. Hopefully this is not your last time. I'd love to have you on more to talk about the state of the program and where it's headed, and the fact that you're buying into the program as the coach, and you're only as good as the leader. So when we see the leader headed in the right direction, it attracts everybody else. And then with Deborah, Jackson, John, the process saying, hey, we understand what it takes. These are the necessary things that we're trying to bring to the program. I like it. It's good energy, and I wish you guys the best with this. And anybody that's out there listening, give them your information one more time if they want to become a part of the program, have resources, even a recruit that's out there. They say, I want to send a coach.
All right, it's dawn.barnes @sus.edu. My cell is 615-498-8841, and I'll include the link as well.
All right. I appreciate you guys. We got to get ready to go to break. We got Deborah Jackson and Coach Don Barnes here. Thank you guys for coming in this morning and giving us some insight. And everybody out there, you guys stay tuned. We'll be right back. More to Jaguar Journal.
Danny Johnson, first and foremost, outstanding young man, great character, great young man. Can't say enough about him. Great father. You always see him, hanging around with his son and spending time with his son and his family. As a player, I can't say enough about him. He has all the athletic ability that you would want in a kid with playing corner, the footwork, speed, all the intangibles.
I have a good work ethic. It's been a lot of times, in the off season, I gotta just push myself to go work out. Even if nobody else was out there, just to get an extra push when we get back into the season. Because I always want to have the edge over everybody else. So it's just that mindset that I have. I want to be one of the best. So I gotta push myself. If anybody else does. And it's like a lot of stuff that I want to do with my son that I can't do because I'm playing ball. So my biggest return to him is just having him come to games on Saturday. He can see his father play in front of thousands of people. It makes him happy. So whenever he's happy, I'm happy. But just when I get the chance to just go home and hear everything he's been doing in school and what he likes and doesn't like, brings me back to that fatherhood of just being around him, and that's what I like to do. I put academics over football because, I can't play football forever. At some point, I'm going to have to rely on that degree. So, that's my biggest thing, and that's one reason why I came to Southern, to get that degree. So I set myself up to where I'll be able to graduate right after the season. So if football doesn't work out for me, I can always come back and go to grad school. So, education is a big thing for me.
Danny Johnson put Southern University on a national stage. Obviously, everybody knows about Jag Nation and Southern University, but you'll see Danny Johnson playing on Sunday one day, and he'll be able to be an ambassador, for the university.
What's going on, everybody? I am Perry White. I'm the host of the Jaguar Journal. I want to make sure that you guys tune in live each and every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 107.3 FM. We also have our affiliates in Alexandria, Louisiana, as well as down in New Orleans. And if you're not able to catch us on radio live, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as follow us on Facebook. It's the Jaguar Journal. What's going on, everybody? I am Perry White. I'm the host of the Jaguar Journal. I want to make sure that you guys tune in live each and every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 107.3 FM. We also have our affiliates in Alexandria, Louisiana, as well as down in New Orleans. And if you're not able to catch us on radio live, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as follow us on Facebook. It's the Jaguar Journal. All right, we're back. It's the Jaguar Journal. Good morning to everybody. I want to thank Coach Don Bourne, Southern University head volleyball coach, coming into the studio this morning talking to us about the program as she wrapped up year one and Deborah Jackson talking about needing to get that support and resources to that program. But now as we keep things going, we got my man who cooler than the other side of the pillow, Southern University head women's basketball coach, my man, Coach Carlos Funches. Good morning, Coach. The SWAC Championship, winning a title. Now at Alabama A&M, she's coming in and having success early.
Oh, they have a very good team. Have size at every position. Have really good guards that can handle the ball and shoot it. Bigs that can play. So it's gonna be a challenge today. We're gonna have to come out and play some of our best basketball. We most definitely gonna have to score it, in order to have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, I'm looking at this, and then I look around the SWAC, and let's look at some of the teams in the SWAC because, as I said, you guys fell short. But then let me go back before I go to the Alabama State. You guys get the victory 48-33. Alabama State does not quite seem to be the team of the past. They're 3-7 in conference play, but a tough one for you guys, but you got it done on the road. What did you see with your team bouncing back against Alabama State?
Well, they have a few injuries, but they played everybody tough. The record doesn't indicate, the talent that they have on their team. They lost a lot of close games, 6 or 7 points, and they always going to battle. Coach Rita Jackson over there, she's another lady that's a championship coach. She's won multiple championships in this league, and she's going going to have our team prepped up and ready to go. So, no game is going to be easy regardless of what. Mississippi Valley went over and beat Alcorn at Alcorn Thursday. So that just goes to tell you, the parity here in this league.
Looking at the SWAC conference standings currently, and we'll start from the bottom all the way to the top. UAPB, a tough one on the road for you guys. You pulled it out, but that was a tough one going back and forth with the Golden Lions on the women's side. They're 1-9 in conference play. Prairie View and Sandy Pugh, 2-8, tied with Mississippi Valley right there, 8 games out of first place. Alabama State, who you guys got the victory over on Thursday, 3-7 in conference play. 2 teams tied at 4-6 and 6 games out of first place. That is Alcorn State and Bethune-Cookman. Then you look at Florida A&M and Grambling, both 5-5 in conference play. They're 5 games out of first place. And then 3 teams stacked up along with you right there in that second place at 8-2, Southern, Jackson State, Alabama A&M. You've already gotten past Jackson State. You're going to have Alabama A&M today. And then in that number 1 spot, 10-0 in conference play, Texas Southern women's basketball, who you had on the ropes on the road, and then it kind of just got away from you guys at the end. But to look at that Texas Southern team, seeing them 10-0, what do you see out of that team and the success that they're having this far into conference play?
I mean, they're a very good team. They can score the basketball. They have 2 or 3 young ladies that can really shoot it. They have a couple of bigs on the inside that can not just score the ball, but also their defensive presence. So, I mean, they're going to be a tough out. Every night they come out and they're going to score about 60 to 65 points. So if you don't score the basketball against them, you're not going to have a chance to win. But she has done a great job over there getting that team together this year, and they're going to be hard to beat.
We'll look at Alabama A&M, today's opponent. They got a victory Thursday against Grambling State, 70-58 in that ball game. Alabama A&M women's basketball shoot 23 of 52 for 44%, 5 of 13 from the three-point line, shooting 38%, and they were 19 of 27 from the free throw line, shooting 70%. On the other side for Grambling in that one, Alabama A&M's defense holding them to 22 of 68, shooting 32% in that game, 7 of 15, shooting 46% from the three-point line, and 7 of 8 from the free throw line, shooting 87%. 40 rebounds for Grambling in that one. On the other side for Alabama A&M women's basketball, 37 rebounds. And just to go back to it, we know Alabama A&M and that new facility coach, along with Coach Don Thornton, they show up for basketball games. It is a tough place to go play here in the SWAC conference.
Yeah, it's always been tough. Every year you come up, you can expect a battle. They show up when Southern comes into town. So, again, you have to be ready to go. And she has a very talented team, and she's a deep team. They're one of the better teams talent-wise, without a doubt, here in the league. And she'll have them, up and ready to go. It's going to be a championship-type atmosphere. So we look forward to playing.
And quickly, just some names of some of those young ladies who you have seen maybe exceeding expectations or going right along for you that you've seen on the team thus far for the Southern University women's basketball.
Well, I think Sanaa Reed has really stepped her game up. Anaya Gordine has been solid. Tanaya Lawson, she's coming on. She got in foul trouble the other night, but she's been doing a great job for us. Tiana Lid, she's been solid. She had 17 rebounds the other night. So, we're just trying to continue to get better and keep playing as a unit. Any given night, we might have a different score, leading score. So, young ladies play together. They play as one, and we're going to come out and be competitive every game.
My man, Coach Carlos Funch, as I always say, cooler than the other side of the pillow, Southern University head women's basketball coach. Coach, thank you for coming on this morning, man. Good luck for you guys against Alabama A&M and Coach Don Thornton today. We know it's going to be a tough environment. Any Jaguars in that area within that radius, you make sure you show up that arena today and help cheer on.
Come on out. We need that support.
There you go. Need that support, Coach, man. Appreciate you for coming on this morning as always.
All right. Thank you, Perry.
All right. Let's get ready to take a break. We'll come back. We'll continue to show you guys. Stay tuned. More of the Jaguar Journal.
It's On the Yard Sports, and I'm Perry White, and what I need for you to do is go follow and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter right now.
Talk about offense, we talk about Southern, and it begins with their passing game.
Tom, beyond potent, we're talking about high octane, we're talking about fast break, we're talking about 41 points a game, some 500 plus yards since Terrence Levy has taken over this offense.
Because that young man doesn't drop any ball.
With the legacy that you started here, you got to feel happy to see it continue on with Doug Williams.
Ball now back at the 22-yard line. Levy, no pressure at all. Touchdown, Ingrams. The Bayou Classic. Levy on a first and goal play. Throws a touchdown. Grambling comes with a blitz. Levy steps in the pocket, and his pass is caught. One-handed grab.
Sort of in the middle of the road of the SWAC, but immediately they jump on the Jackson State defense. And here's Levy rolling out. And the pass is caught. Ball is at the 31-yard line. Again throwing the football downfield. Oh, and his receiver Hayes makes the catch. See you later. Touchdown, Southern. If you're going to get, I got some free tickets. Look out for it, brother. Going downfield. Oh, and what a play by Southern.
Score. He's played a lot tougher ever since. And this is a free play for Southern.
2nd and 15.
It's a free play.
Levy completes his
It's
pass.
a free play.
Oh, and he's still up.
It's a free play.
Hayes is going to continue running inside the 10, the 5. Unbelievable Michael Hayes. 3rd down. And 23 for a first. Levy over the middle. Nice pass that time. 2nd and 20. Levy doesn't have to get it all, but he's going to have to pick up some yards. Here he is throwing. Nice catch made.
Receiver, Michael Hayes. There he goes.
Hayes makes the catch. Hayes still on his feet. Hayes looking for blocking. Hayes trying to find a hole. Hayes is still on his feet. He alley-oops. He's inside the 15 and drawn out a foul.
Touchdown.
Backfield. Plenty of time for Levy across the middle. Has his man at the 15. You know, I don't know if you want to break the spirit of Terrence Levy or not. Here he wings one wide open down the middle and a one-handed grab made.
The way. 3rd down in 4. And here's Lewis off the catch. Lewis still on his feet. And Lewis is streaking down the sideline. Touchdown. So they move back 5 yards. Levy on 3rd down. Looking down the sideline. Yes, sir. Big time play.
Guys, stepping up.
Back, it is the Jaguar Journal. Good morning to everybody. Glad to have you guys with us. I am Perry White. Want to thank my man, Coach Carlos Funches, Southern University head women's basketball coach, coming on, talking to me about their big game today against Alabama A&M, and as well as Coach Don Barnes coming in, head volleyball coach at Southern University. And listen, as we get things going, of course, it is Super Bowl weekend. Everybody down in New Orleans getting ready for the Chiefs versus the Eagles. Should be one hell of a weekend, one hell of a game. And listen, if you've been keeping up with Southern University's marching band, they've been all over the place. You're talking about going over to L.A. last week for the Honda Battle of the Bands. Then this week, the news broke that they're going to be performing at the Super Bowl in the pregame. And then not only that, Thursday night, they performed on Nightcap with Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco. So huge shout-outs for them because that band has been moving all over the place. Dr. Taylor and his staff have been getting it together for their band. I've been with them along the journey, had an opportunity to be out in L.A. last week at SoFi Stadium. And let me tell you, the Honda Battle of the Bands in L.A., it exceeded my expectations. Going out to L.A., being in SoFi, there was Alabama A&M, Alabama State, Hampton University, North Carolina A&T, UAPB, University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, and Southern University. Now, I was kind of on the fence because I'm like, we don't really get a chance to get out that way much with our culture when we talk about what we have so much of here in the South with HBCUs and particularly our show-style marching bands. But listen, very impressed with the turnout. 60,000 people showed up to SoFi Stadium for this Battle of the Bands, celebrities and all. This thing was packed out. Cedric the Entertainer came out with Southern's band and announced him out on the field. Orlando Jones, who we know is Dr. Lee from the movie Drumline, was there. Nick Cannon was the host. Glorilla, who right now is pretty hot in the hip-hop world in terms of being an artist, was there to perform. And the crowd was very, very diverse looking at it. It just wasn't an all-black event. You talking about black folks, right? We were there. White folks was there, right? Hispanics, Asians. It was very diverse because what I liked about it, let me tell you something. It was just the genuineness of people just wanting to see these bands. And to see their face, to see how excited they were. It didn't matter if a band messed up on the field. It didn't matter about nothing. From what I saw from walking around and interacting with people, they were just happy to see this. And it was refreshing because, you know, here in the South, we have our picks and chooses of who we like to talk noise against. You know, we point out the mistake. It was different, right? Because when you go to Houston, when you go to Atlanta, when you got the National Battle of the Bands, that's in Houston. Honda, before it moved to L.A., was in Atlanta. I think the past couple of years, they did it over in Montgomery, Alabama, on the campus of Alabama State, bringing bands into that stadium. But it was refreshing to take this into a whole nother realm of an audience that just was happy to see it. And every band that was there put on a show. I was very impressed, I'm not going to lie, with UAPB. I was impressed because I had never seen Hampton's band in person. They're small, but the sound. You know, seeing A&T, who many people, you know, really do love with North Carolina A&T's band, right? Getting a chance to see the Alabama A&M and Alabama State and the UAPB, who we see typically in the SWAC. No MEAC band was selected, though. But nonetheless, our culture was on full display for people on the West Coast to see. And what I saw was kids excited. I saw alums from all of these different schools being loud. When they were announcing the different bands, you can hear the alums cheering, whatever that chant is for their school, cheering in the stands, coming together. Man, it was an absolute beautiful sight to see. And then just the venue itself, SoFi Stadium, is one of the best I've been in, if not the best. Absolutely beautiful venue. The weather in L.A. was amazing, just being out there. Even being with the band, going to Inglewood High School, watching the fans and the people of the community come out, because even with the band playing, you can tell you're not used to hearing that sound. People were coming out the houses. The neighborhood showed up. To see just the excitement of the kids' faces to see Southern's band in person. We know we get a lot of people who watch this via YouTube and get a chance to see, but it's nothing like seeing and feeling that sound and hearing it in person. And that's what was amazing about it. And then performing tomorrow in the Super Bowl, the pregame show. I've been with them all week as they've been preparing down in New Orleans. This is going to be something to see tomorrow for the pregame show. Make sure you tune in to the Super Bowl. What an honor for Southern University to have its brand out there, to be a part of the most watched event in sports in the United States and one of the most watched sporting events in the world. And it would have Southern University marching band right there on full display. Might I add, you're going to actually know who they are because they're going to have their uniforms on. It's not one of those where you got to guess, is that Southern? I don't know if that's you're going to know Southern is there. And then getting the donation. Shannon Sharp vowed to donate $25,000 to the band program. And Ocho Cinco said, you know what, Shannon, I'll match that. So to get $50,000 given to the band because of their performance at Nightcap. We all know Shannon and Ocho. Ocho talks about Southern's band a lot on the show Nightcap. If you haven't watched it, it's a YouTube channel with Shannon Sharp, Hall of Famer, and Ocho Cinco, former NFL player. And Ocho talks about Southern's band all the time. So to be able to have them on that platform down during Super Bowl week and then the performance tomorrow at the actual Super Bowl game for a pregame, absolutely amazing what this does for the brand of Southern University. Because once again, I continue to tell people, just like Alabama's football team is the number one thing that attracts people to the University of Alabama, Southern's band, regardless of how you want to look at it, in all honesty, is the number one attraction for Southern University. Southern, no knock on nothing else. It's the reality. Southern athletics is what it is. Southern academics is what it is. But that human jukebox, let me tell you, is completely undervalued in my personal opinion. Completely undervalued. It does not matter the race and the background of anyone. They know about Southern University Marching Band. And when they get a chance to be around it, it just brings excitement. It creates conversation. It does wonders for the brand of Southern University itself. It attracts students to Southern University whether they want to be in the band or not. They just want to go to the school that has the best band. That is what makes Southern University Marching Band that aura that wraps around it. And listen, you're going to have people that don't like this, people that don't like that. It does not matter. At the end of the day, what we can say, and I've seen it with my own personal eyes, with my own two eyes, just the pure excitement that people get because of Southern. So be sure to tune in to the Super Bowl pregame show tomorrow that's going to be headlining Southern University Marching Band. And, man, what a hell of a job they've been doing for the past 2 weeks, going from L.A., coming right into the Super Bowl. All right, we're at the top of the hour. Let's get ready to take a break. When I come back on the other side, we're going to talk some men's basketball, and then we're going to get into some football. So you guys stay tuned. We'll be right back. More of the Jaguar Journal.
Southern was a little late to the game of football. They had started earlier in the CIAA up at Hampton and those schools up there. And when J.S. Clark became president of Southern University in 1914, he had already visited the Tuskegee and these Howard and the other schools, and they had a football program. And he wanted to compete with them, not just in the classroom, but also on the football field. So it started as an intramural. We had intramurals when we first came in 1914 through 1916-17, and then the intramural program evolved into the varsity, into the football program in 1918. Coach Big Charlie Holmes from Colorado State, he came here as an assistant coach, but he took over around 1922, 1923, and he did very well through the early 20s. But he came up to 26. He broke even. He was expected to do well, and 27. I don't find any records where he won any games there, and he was replaced. But the person he was replaced by was a legendary. Name is Bryce Union Taylor from the University of Southern California. Out there, he had been an All-American. He was the guy that stopped the four horsemen of Notre Dame. And then he went to Chaffin University in South Carolina at 27. In 1928, he became the head football coach at Southern University and athletic director. And he really put Southern on the map. He had a lot of firsts. First of all, he had the first All-Americans we had came under him. Therefore, he had the greatest winning percentage in Southern University. He won 85% of his game here. And he had our first undefeated season in 1931 when he was 7-0, but he was not declared national champ, but he was considered for that. But he was our first great coach during that early period, Bryce Union Taylor. We don't want to forget him. Arnett W. Mumford, he's a national icon in coaching. He had coached 10 years in Texas, Jarvis Christian, Bishop, and Texas College. But the last 5 or 6 years at Texas College, he was very, very outstanding. He won 2 SWAC titles, and he had won a national black championship at Texas College and 35. So therefore, Southern was interested in getting him here, and Dr. Felton Clark was very instrumental, the person to get him here. But his impact it goes much further than Southern University in the state of Louisiana. He won 12 SWAC titles, 10 of them at Southern and 2 at Texas College. And he won 5 or 6 national black championships. And also, he was very successful in the first interracial bowl game, the Fruit Bowl in San Francisco in 1948 when he played San Francisco State. And he won that game decisively. But his influence extended much further than the boundaries of Southern University. He was recognized nationally as a great coach. His winning record, he didn't coach over a period of 35 years, and a couple of those years they didn't have teams because of the war. But he won 246 games, second only to Eddie Robinson with his 402 game over 55 years, I should add. And Southern always had loyal supporters, and they would follow the team everywhere they would go in large numbers. So Southern became the team that everyone loves to beat, loves every Saturday. It's the toughest game we have every Saturday. So if they don't win another game, they figure if they win the Southern game, they had a good season. And because we carry a large crowd with us everywhere we go too, so a lot of people like that. And we like to brag about how good we are. And of course that helps out. But it is a vista to the university, using the football athletics period to use that way to introduce the university to people who may not have known the university. Went through a period of 20 years, 30 years, I believe it was, after Mom, till we got Coach Peach Richardson in 1982, 83, and then he returned us to the glory years. Rivalry with Grambling has always been there because it's an intrastate rivalry. And we played Grambling a few times before 1948, but after then, we didn't play them anymore until we became a member of SWAC in 1959. But FAMU filled that void with Jake Gaither and A.W. Mumford. Those were some of the greatest games that you ever would see. And they became our main rivalry after 1948. But the exposure that the biggest thing that we can say about the rivalry is that the Bayou Classic, coming to Bayou Classic in 1974.
All right, we're back. It's the Jaguar Journal. Good morning to everybody. It is the top of the hour, and guess what? As we continue to roll, we're going to roll with a very special guest this morning right now because his team is red hot right now, one of the hottest teams in the country and one of the only teams still undefeated in conference play. Want to welcome to the show this morning my man, head basketball coach at Southern University on the men's team, Coach Kevin Johnson. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Perry. How you doing?
Doing good, man. Glad to have you on and you making some time to get on with me this morning.
Yeah, it's always good to be here.
All right, let's get ready to talk about your team, man. Red hot right now. You guys defended home court last week, first taking on Alcorn State in a tough one. You get a victory 74-69 in a ball game in which your team shot 21 of 52, shooting 40%. 6 of 22 from the three-point line, shooting 27%, and 26 of 35 from the free throw line, shooting 74%, 30 rebounds in that ball game. And then, listen, Monday, heart attack game, as they call it, against a rival, Jackson State. And Coach Mo Williams, listen, and I saw your expression after the game when I hit you with the high five. You was like, man, I'm glad we got out of this one. Listen, 91-89 in overtime. Southern University men's basketball team gets it done against Jackson State. And that one, you shoot 30 of 60 for 50%. 10 of 26 from the three-point line, shooting 38%, and 21 of 26 from the free throw line, shooting 80%. 32 rebounds in that game. 2 tough ones at home against Alcorn and Jackson State, Coach, but your teams found a way to get it done. Man, just is a little too close for comfort for you?
Not really. We know that we're going to get everybody's best shot, and it'll be no different today. And we just have to be prepared. One of the things I like about this team, and they're still developing, you know, they are resilient. You know, when the momentum turns, we don't get too far down, and when the momentum turns in our favor, we don't get crazy. So it's been a good balance, and I just like the way they're buying into each other, and we're still developing, and that's the message today, and it will be from here on out. Let's get better every day.
I want to talk about the way you rotate your team, your players in, because your bench, when they come in, listen, one of the best in the country. Just the coaching process and how you do that, and then working along with injuries to the team as well, and how you keep your team fresh throughout the game.
Well, you know, what I like is I asked these guys about 3 weeks ago, I said, who are the starters? And Mike Jacobs said, we're all starters. And I love it. I love it. So I said it really doesn't matter who starts the game. You know, everybody be ready to play. And that's one of the rewards of really using the platoon system is, you know, everybody gets a chance. And if you're ready and your production is right, you're playing the game the right way, you know, you get a chance to stay out there a little bit longer. So it's worked for us so far. And, you know, I like to keep using it, but, you know, sometimes a game prevents you from doing that. If we get foul trouble or if we get a player injured, then there's some disruption. But again, even when we've had those circumstances, our guys have been able to adjust, man. And that's what really excites me about this group.
Now, I got to ask, because at the end of that Jackson State game, it almost unraveled, right? You get the ball back, go down for the big dunk, maybe could have held it, got fouled, and then did some things with the time management. But the big dunk, Jackson State comes back on the other end and knocks down a 3 to send this thing into overtime. Looking back at that at the end of the game with that management, Coach, would you have wanted them to kind of handle that a little bit different, because it left hope for Jackson State at the end?
Yeah, well, I'm going to be very reluctant to have that much control on the offensive end. I really would like these guys to play free, have a clear head, and to stay in attack mode. The one thing that myself and my staff, we second guess is, having a 3-point lead, do you go ahead and foul and put them on the line and let them shoot the 1-and-1, and then, rely on getting the rebound? It's just kind of a circumstance for me, but that would probably be the one thing that, we would continue to discuss moving forward. And if we get that opportunity again, maybe we might foul. And so then Ruffin doesn't get off the 3.
And he's a baller. I'm not even going to lie. I didn't realize. They kept saying, you don't know who that kid is, man. I was looking, and I looked him up. He was a McDonald's All-American. He is a baller for Jackson State. And then looking at Mo Williams and the team that he put together, big guys, they bang in the paint on you, but your team was able to stretch them out and then keep it going. Looking at today's opponent in Alabama A&M, and on Monday, Alabama State, I know, let's start with Alabama A&M, because I know with coaches, one game at a time. Alabama A&M right now, 3-6 in conference play. They're 6 games out of first place. What do you see out of the Bulldogs? Because as we all know, the same, I just had the conversation with Coach Funches. Alabama A&M fans show up in that new arena for basketball games and try to make it a tough place for any opponent, especially for Southern. What do you see for that Alabama A&M team looking at film and evaluating that program?
Well, they're going to play with tremendous energy at home. We got up here last year, got down early, and had to dig ourselves from a deficit, and cut it to 2 at one point and couldn't finish it. So we've been trying to get the message across to our guys that, hey, look, we got to come out from the jump ball and be ready. And so, I kind of saw that focus in last night's practice. I definitely want to see it here today. But they're a team that plays a lot of guys. They score a lot of points. And, they score more points a game than we do. They rebound more than we do. So, I don't care about records. That doesn't mean anything in this league. So we have to be ready, and we have to make sure we play better than they do today.
Oh, you almost killed my next question, because you don't care about records, but the fans doing that. It's out there. Southern, your program, only of a handful of teams still undefeated in league play. What do you do to keep a team to not be distracted by that? When you having success, but to realize just as much as you're up, you could be down, to keep them focused and to keep them with the eye on the prize, that one game at a time.
Well, Perry, the first thing we have to do is, we have to talk about it. We're not going to go around and skirt around the things that this team has been able to accomplish. We talk about it, but what's more important is not where we are, is how we got there. And again, these guys believe in each other. And that's what we have to carry. That's our best chance moving forward. Just believe in each other. Believe on the guy that's out there on the court next to you. Believe in the guy that's on the bench. And if you do that, that'll be plenty enough.
All right, let's look at the SWAC standings, right? Start from the bottom and work our way up to the top. How about it? UAPB getting the victory over Texas Southern, snap their 7-game win streak at home on Tuesday. UAPB found a way to get it done. Coach Solomon got it done. They're 1-8 tied with Mississippi Valley. Both teams 1-8 in conference play. 8 games out of first place. Right above them, Grambling State, who is struggling thus far this season, along with Prairie View and today's opponent for Southern, Alabama A&M on the men's side. All 3 of those teams sit there at 3-6, 6 games out of first place. Couple teams, let's say a few teams sitting there at 5-4. Alcorn State, Florida A&M, and opponent on Monday, Alabama State, all at 5-4 in conference play, 4 games out of first place. Then you have Bethune-Cookman. Listen, I said it last year, and I say it again. Reggie Theus has a really good team in Bethune-Cookman. They're tied right there with Jackson State, who you defeated last Monday at 6-3, 3 games out. Texas Southern now 7-2 with a conference loss to UAPB and none other than Southern University at 7-2 in conference play and 2 games out, and 9-0 at the top of the pack at Southern University. Right now undefeated in conference play. But when you look at those teams, just like you talked about, anybody can get beat. Texas Southern goes on the road and gives UAPB their first victory of the season, a 1-point loss to UAPB. And then you go back and you look at the tough games, even with Grambling sitting there at 3-6, they gave us everything we could ask for here at home in Baton Rouge. And then you just look at the rest of those teams, even Bethune-Cookman and Coach Theus and his team. This conference, when you look at it, it's not so much different amongst everybody, but you're going to get a tough game no matter what the record is, Coach.
You know, I think the Pine Bluff Texas Southern game is a prime example of how tough this league is and how important it is to, be ready to play every night. I mean, most of the coaches in the league felt like Texas Southern was playing better basketball than anybody else in the league. I didn't agree with that, but that's what the coaches thought. And so they go on the road against a team that hadn't won a game and lose a close ball game. So you have to be ready every night, no matter who the opponent.
Got to be ready no matter who's the opponent. Coach, give me some names of guys when you talk about rotating that bench, getting guys in just for you that you've seen step up their game, guys that may have exceeded expectations that you're looking for in the season, and just overall names of some playmakers for you.
You know what? It's all these guys. I can't leave anybody out. If you look at the group that starts for us, and Joe Manning, Andre Nunley, Jordan Johnson, Derek Tisno went down, so we had to make a change. We put Damari in the lineup for him, and then DeAndre Thomas. Man, those guys, it is so important for them to set the tone on both ends of the floor. And when they do that as a starting group, I think it just kind of gets the playing field where we want it. And then, we can come with the second unit and, Cam Amory and Mike Jacobs, and now Derek is in that unit, and P.J. DeBoll and Brente Noel, and just kind of, instead of keeping things level, we want to continue to push it out. And so that's kind of been the formula. And there's been some other guys that we've played in there. A.J. Barnes has given us a lift at certain points in times. And, even freshman Jace Depron, has been able to knock some shots down. So for me, it's about all these guys being ready. You never know when your number's going to be called.
And what I like about all of this, Coach, you and I had conversations last year sitting in your office just having a conversation with you, and you was talking about creating a culture and getting guys to buy in. And, man, looking at this team right now, guys are buying in. There's a lot of basketball to play as we get into that halfway mark of conference play. And on the other side, you guys have Texas Southern and Prairie View. But just to see this culture coming together and what you're instilling in them, man, it has to be a good feeling to see, hey, we're getting somewhere, and they see what I'm saying as a coach. And if you listen to me, we'll have success.
Yeah. And again, it's not something where you ever get and it's a finished product. I think, again, I think we have the maturity level where these guys understand that we're still building, we're still growing. And as long as you've taken that attitude and don't feel like you've arrived, there's always a chance to get better.
Coach, man, I appreciate you taking the time of coming on this morning and talk to us about your program. Big game today on the road at Alabama A&M, and you'll have another one at Alabama State on Monday. Coach, thank you as always, man. You could be doing a lot of other things, but taking the time to speak with me and talking to the Jaguar Nation as always, we appreciate you. We support you. And I've been there at the games like you're saying. I've been giving the refs hell, Coach. I've been on them, especially Monday. Hey, listen, I was on them, Coach.
Don't stop. And, you have a great viewpoint where you sit in a great angle and you're close to them. So don't stop, but just don't give me a technical.
I ain't going to get you a tech because, look, when I was yelling at one time, one of the refs looked back. I said, hey, let me know if I'm wrong. He said, no, man, I'm enjoying it. You good. He said, I just had to look back and see who was making all that noise. I said, all right. Long as I'm good, you good with me, I'm good with you. So I'm at that fine line to where I make sure I talk to him. Am I good? And as long as they say I'm good, Coach, I do what I do to help the
Good.
team.
Keep it going. Good. Well, certainly appreciate everything you do. And, hey, let's go get them today. Go Jags.
Go Jags. Thank you. That is the voice of Coach Kevin Johnson, the head men's basketball coach at Southern University. They are red hot, 9-0 in conference play, taking on Alabama A&M today. Let's get ready to take a break. When we come back on the other side, we're going to have the head football coach at Southern University, Coach Terrence Graves. It's time to talk some football. You've been on me for over a month about the recruiting, so here we go. This is what everybody's been waiting for. So we're about to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk some Southern University recruiting. So you guys stay tuned. More of the Jaguar Journal.
Darius Skelton has really had this wave of momentum for Southern.
Yeah, first-year player in this program. I love his decision-making. He makes quick decisions, particularly when running the run-pass option game. That's his specialty. He's been an impact for this offense since he took over as starting quarterback.
Well, Darius Skelton is a dual-threat quarterback. He can throw the football. He's very good at throwing the ball down the field. We're going to work on this spring those intermediate passes, but down the field, he's one of the better down the field passes that I've seen.
Play action, Skelton going for it all, has a man, and hauling it in is Hunter Register.
And then when you talk about running ability, he has running back capabilities. He can go the distance. He has the speed to go the distance. He has the power, and he has the vision. And I think when you put that with a dual threat quarterback, I think he's the reason why we're so happy about this coming season.
Skelton feeling the pressure. Skelton eludes a couple of tacklers. He's still on his feet. Oh my! Little shake and bake juke move, baby.
Being a quarterback, man, it's not easy at all. It was hard being here and having the expectations to be the starter and not being the starter. It was overwhelming. Like, I was ready to play, and not playing when I was ready to play just made me kind of look at life differently and really think, should I be here or should I not? And I talked to God, and he just settled me down, and he told me to be patient. That's what I did.
Skelton, who started the last 6 games of 2018 for the Jaguars. They went 5-1. Their only loss to Alcorn State in the SWAC title game. Taking the jet sweep, and Skelton awfully good with his leg. Blitz. Register, the receiver at the bottom of your screen. Nice grab. All who have had an impact here in the year lowing. Southern still. Skelton comes up for the 3rd time. Taking the jet sweep, he'll keep it. A good lead block as he cuts it to the outside. The fake to Ben. Skelton will run. And dragging with them for a few yards. Darius. The time, stepping up into the end zone, has registered. Flag down, catch made, touchdown, and it's actually first quarter yards. Southern 121, McNeese 40. Fresh set of downs as we begin the second quarter, and looking deep, Skelton for Register.
What's going on, everybody? I am Perry White. I'm the host of the Jaguar Journal. I want to make sure that you guys tune in live each and every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on one. All right, we're back. It's the Jaguar Journal. Good morning to everybody as we continue to keep things rocking and rolling. You guys have been asking me for the past month, want to talk recruiting. I said, we're going to hold up. We're going to let the dust settle. Well, the dust has settled. National Signing Day has come. It has gone, and the ink has dried. And now nobody better to talk about Southern University football than the guy who is over it himself, Southern University head football coach, Coach Terrence Graves. Good morning, Coach Graves.
Good morning, Perry. How are you?
Doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well.
Glad to have you on this morning, Coach. The fans, I can only imagine as the coach how many times people are asking you about XYZ because they have been for the past month period. When you going to talk about recruiting? When you going to ask? When you going to do this? And now we finally get a chance to do it. And I'm just a radio broadcaster, so as the head guy, no, you're getting all the questions all the time. And listen, National Signing Day has come. It is gone, and now we know who the future Jaguar is going to be. Southern University signs 29 guys on during National Signing Day. You have 4 defensive backs, 9 defensive linemen, 2 receivers, 1 linebacker, 2 quarterbacks signed in this, 8 offensive linemen, 1 running back, and 2 guys on special teams, Coach. What I want to do is start on the offensive side for you of the guys that you have signed, 13 guys offensively. Give us an idea of some of those guys and who you signed.
Well, this is a really good recruiting class, and the offensive, the entire staff did a great job of identifying what we needed and how we were going to go forth. And so hats off to them before I, began to speak on the recruiting class. Those guys did a tremendous job. They understood the assignment. They went out and got it done, and we're excited. Of course, you always we try to build the program inside out, so we always want to start with the offensive line. And, to have Xavier Warrell and Malachi Bingham and Trotter and those guys that came in mid-year were huge. Mikhail Trotter, to have those guys already here. You're talking about 2 tackles and a guard. It's really, really much needed and really for depth purposes, experience-wise. To have those guys that are experienced. We focus on junior college guys because those guys are a little older, guys are more mature, and those guys have had playing experience. So we started with those guys, and then we added the additional linemen with this May signing class. Well, the February signing class, which the guys will graduate in May. And so that's the goal. We needed to add depth and experience. Even though we have guys here, we had some young guys, and we need to get some older guys on the offensive line. So it was certainly good to have those guys. Of course, on the, we lost 2 quarterbacks, so in order to have the ability to sign 2 quarterbacks with Jamari Jones and Dylan Compton, those were two really good additions to the room with Jalen Woods, and that's going to be a great room of competitors, and we look forward to having those guys. Jamari's already here, and of course Dylan will come in the summer. So to have those guys be able to compete and go through the system is going to be great for us. To add Malachi Jackson as a wide receiver, he's a big time wide receiver. He was a steal. This young man had some Power 4. Group of 5, had a number of Group of 5 offers. Coach Burrell did a tremendous job with him because you'll hear me say all the time, relationships matter. And he was coached with Quentin Burrell, wide receivers coach. He was able to get this young man because he had a relationship with his high school coach, or he and his high school coach, I think they went to high school together, played together, something to that degree. And we were able to get that young man out of Navarro Community College, and he had, like I said, he had some big offers, and we were fortunate to get him to help us on the outside. Having Dupree Fuller back because of the new NCAA rule, we didn't have to worry about going to get a tight end. We were looking at tight ends because Fuller was basically exhausted eligibility last year, and then the rule came out where he would have another year, so it was a blessing to be able to have him back, so we didn't have to add anything to the tight ends room. And of course we lost a couple of running backs, but then to have Tamarion Asbury right across the street from Southern Lab, that was a huge get because he is a big time football player. It was a really, really great high school career. He's already in school at Southern, so he'll go through the spring. So that says a lot about him academically and what he did to get out early in December to be able to be a part of the program now and get a chance to get in and get acclimated to the system. And he's a big back. For him coming out of high school with that size and strength and explosiveness, that's encouraging. We were looking for a big back. We were able to also get Kendrick Grimes back because of that rule. So, and then, of course, we still have Barry Remo and Jason Gable. So, that room is going to be stacked, and that's what we want to do. The goal is to have to be competitive at every position. And we didn't take that lightly when we went out and we started this recruiting. We wanted to make sure that every position was stacked and every position was competitive from top down. So they really did a good job addressing those needs offensively.
Let me ask you this, Coach, because this is the big question that everybody wants to know. When you look at those quarterbacks you brought in, of course, that is the big position in Southern University fans' eyes. You look at Jaguar Jones, a 6'3", 205 quarterback, and then you look at Dylan Compton, 6'1", 200, coming out of Bunkie. Skill sets of both of those guys and what attracted you guys to saying, hey, come be Jaguars?
Well, those guys do skill set wise. Those guys can throw the football. They can throw the football. Have great football IQ. Those guys are athletic. They can run. They can throw. They command the room. To see Dylan was at Bunkie, and Bunkie was 13-2 under his leadership. He's a guy that has all the tools, as well as Jamari. Jamari has all the accolades. Jamari has playing experience on, of course, the high school, junior college, and four-year college level. So, and again, relationships matter. It's a previous relationship. Coach Titan has a previous relationship with him. So, again, to be able to have that relationship, foster it, and then be able to bring those guys in, just a tremendous job by him. And to get those athletic quarterbacks like that, along with Jalen Woods is really growing and maturing, and his level of confidence, has increased, and he's doing a great job with his leadership during this off season. So it's when you got a room like that, it really helps you when it's time to as the season progresses.
As you evaluate what you have returning, as you said, getting some guys back because of some rules changes across the NCAA, and then you look at these 13 guys that you're bringing in, for you and Coach Mark Fredericks, what is the identity that you're looking for this team as you move forward to the 2025 season for offense?
Well, we're going to always be a physical football team, and that's in all three phases of the game. And so, we want to impose our will on people, regardless of what that looks like. And, but the thing is, we want to be able to dominate up front, establish the line of scrimmage so that we can run the football, but then also be able to protect so that we can get the ball down the field, get the ball into the playmakers' hands, and, just really be aggressive and put the pressure on defenses. And I think, this will be our second season, Coach Frederick being the offense coordinator, and those guys having an idea of the system and knowing the system for a year now, a whole season, and then to be able to go through that system in the spring, it only helps. And that's the thing, having consistency with our returning players, our returning offensive linemen. Joshua Trask, we got him back because of that same rule. And then to have Brian Wallace back and Christian Garcia and Jerron Lewis, having those guys back, those guys played the majority of the year. Along with the new guys, all those things helped us offensively to be better and doing what we want to do schematically on offense.
Any coaching changes on the offensive side of the ball?
No, we haven't had any coaching changes.
All right, that's what I'm going along to checking off the list of everything everybody's been asking me, particularly what they've asked me, and I'm like, I'm going to ask Coach to see where we at. But I'm looking at this offense, man, and looking at the musical chair position we were playing at quarterback last year. And one thing that I think that Jaguar fans really were happy with when you look at this, you were not afraid to give any guy an opportunity to get out there and showcase it. It's not one man's job. It's anybody's job who's willing to step up.
Well, the thing of it is guys have to be prepared to play, and that's what we emphasize. You got to be ready when your number's called. And at the end of the day, the goal is to win games. It's not about, per se, particular player, this person or that person or what have you. The goal is to win the game. And so that's what we're going to do. We are not hesitant to play the people that's going to give us the best chances to win the football game. And that's just that's just our philosophy. You know, if you know, in a perfect world, you would love to have one guy go out and you know, be the quarterback, because particularly that's what we're talking about, the quarterback position.
Mm-hmm.
But then on the flip side is, how many times have you ever seen a team go out and win a championship playing 3 quarterbacks in a season?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not always because of injuries. You know, of course, there's times where, you know, when you're injury plagued, and we had some injuries. We had some guys banged up, so that was part of it too. But for the most part, it was, hey, we got to play the guy that's got the hot hand. Let's play the guy that's going to get it done, and that's what we did. And so that's hats off to the assistant coaches for preparing those guys and having those guys ready. You look at Coach Nivens. When we started off, we had basically one starter returning on the offensive line, and you know, we went out and got some older guys, and we hung our hat on the older guys at the early part of the season, but you know, it just wasn't there. The chemistry wasn't there. So Coach Nivens wasn't afraid to put a true freshman, Brian Wallace, at right tackle, and then we moved some other guys around. We moved, you know, you talking about redshirt freshman, Jerron Lewis was moved to right guard, and Garcia was moved to left guard, and we had Foster at the left tackle. And those guys got in there, and, you know, Trash and Gonzalez were at the center spots, and those guys got in there, and they worked in practice, and we did a few things, went to some old school stuff in practice. It really helped those guys out, and then you look up, and, you know, we got some continuity and some consistency, and we were able to do things that, you know, we were able to do some things that, you know, we weren't able to do in the first half of the season. Second half of the season, it took off. You know, we had a game where we only rushed for 29 yards, and then we turn around and play later on that year, and then, you know, we have over 200 yards rushing.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, those things, that's what you look at. You see how those guys bought into the system, those guys worked, those guys came together, and so when you see that, you know that we're trending in the right direction. And like I said, those guys did a really good job of, you know, stepping up when their number was called and playing to the best of their ability.
I know you talked about Fuller from the tight end position. Any word with Ethan Howard?
No, not right now. We're still trying to go through some things with the academic side, the eligibility side. So hopefully we'll get that ironed out. Hopefully that'll get ironed out this semester, and we look forward to, you know, having him out there.
You got a second to hang on with me, Coach? We come back and talk defense?
Yeah.
All right, let's get ready to take a break. That is the voice of Coach Terrence Graves, the head football coach at Southern University. We're talking Southern University recruiting and National Signing Day, so you guys stay tuned. We'll be right back. We'll talk defense on the other side. We'll be right back.
It's On the Yard Sports, and I'm Perry White, and what I need for you to do is go follow and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter right now.
For the first time in the 79-year history of the Southwestern Athletic Conference Elite Championship game determines the overall champion today. Live from Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama, it's the champions of the East, Jackson State, taking on Southern, the champs from the West. Hello, everybody. George Johnson along with Charles Mann, and I got to tell you, a great poet once said this is the way it's supposed to be, and it is. Number 11 Southern taking on number 15 Jackson State. Both programs have won 3 SWAC titles over the decade, so it's only fitting in the first SWAC Championship game we determine the program of the decade. We've got a lot of offense out on the field, and yet this guy right here, he's going to tell you this game's all about D.
It's always all about D, George. You know that. It's always all about
an
D.
all-pro defensive end is going to tell you that. When you think about Jackson State, this is a team that is very potent offensively, but defensively they've led the SWAC throughout most of the year, and they've got the best player in defense in the SWAC, and that's Tommy Head.
Tommy Head. Get used to saying that name. You'll say it all day. He'll be all over the field. He's always around the football. He's the leading tackler on this team. He also has 5.5 sacks.
At one point this year, Southern led the nation in scoring defense. Then they ran into Florida A&M. They've got a lot of guys out there that can get it done, but at the top of the list is DeMarcus Miller.
DeMarcus Miller, the linebacker coach, Terrence Graves, told me there's one word to describe this kid, and that is relentless. He's only 5'10", 285 pounds. He makes a lot of plays, though.
Relentless, appropriate word for our third member of the broadcast team, and that's Joe Claire, who's standing by down on the sideline. Joe?
Yes, indeed. I'm down here on the field capturing all the pageantry and revelry that is black college football. Birmingham, Alabama is a lovely city. This is the inaugural SWAC Championship in their city, so they came out to have a good time. I will be covering the bands, the cheerleaders, shout-outs, all of that kind of stuff. Back to you guys up top.
All right, thank you very much, Joe. You know, earlier this year, Southern beat Jackson State, the 4th straight win over the Tigers. But what's most impressive about Southern, they haven't lost a conference game in 25 outings. They put it on the line against Jackson State. We look at the starting lineups brought to you by Western Union Money Transfer, the fastest way to send money worldwide. You saw the backs. Here's your offensive line. Damon Nivens is a first-team All-SWAC member. Defensively, there's your starting lineups for Jackson State's defense. Chandler, Tommy Head, Edward Reese, pretty good middle linebacker. Rashard Anderson is a professional prospect, and they say he will be in the NFL next year. It is your starting lineup, brought to you by Western Union. Mark Washington is your quarterback. Destry Wright, the all-time leading rusher in school history, is the tailback. Jeremiah.
All right, we're back. It is the Jaguar Journal. Good morning to everybody out there listening on 107.3 FM. Glad to have you guys in Radio Land and everybody watching on our YouTube and everything else, Facebook. Good to have you guys. Hey, talking Southern University football. I'm Perry White, and I'm joined by the head football coach at Southern University, Coach Terrence Graves. Good morning, Coach Graves.
Good morning, Perry.
The people are enjoying this because this is what if they could talk to me about football all day, every day, they would. I have to try to put in other stuff just to balance it out, but we're giving the people what they want. An update on Southern University football, of course. National Signing Day was this past week. Southern University able to sign 29 guys to add to this roster along with the returning players. We've talked offense. Now let's look at the defensive side of the ball, Coach, and talk about that. You signed 4 defensive backs, 9 defensive linemen, and a linebacker. Let's talk about that and start with the defensive line and what you guys went out and what you was looking for signing those 9 D linemen.
Well, that was probably the area where we lost the most people. Numbers, attrition, exhausted eligibility. So, and then we were actually we were actually under the number from the year before. We didn't have the full allotment of what we wanted at the defensive line spot probably for 2 years out. So we needed to go and, get the numbers that we needed to make sure that we had, the proper athletes as well as the depth and the competition at that position again, because it's always about competing. And so that was something that we focused on. And then you have to remember, we'll have guys that'll be seniors this year. So it was definitely incumbent upon us to get some experienced guys as well as some young guys that we can grow and develop to come in and compete and play now as well as in the future.
The names of some of those guys and what you were looking for as you guys went out and recruited along with Coach Miller.
Well, we wanted to definitely, again, we always want to build inside out. And so we had to go in and we had to go and get some guys that were, again, experienced, guys that have played. And so, to go in and get we got a bunch of defensive tackles. And, you can go down the list of all those guys can play. When you're talking about Darren Scott, Darren Scott is probably the most active defensive tackle that we had in the group. Habib Bello,
all those guys at junior college. We signed, if I remember correctly, I think we signed 7 junior college defensive tackles and ends. Kai Brown is another. He's a defensive end that's already here that we got from Kilgore. His roots are New Orleans, but his mother had moved to Dallas, so he's actually back. He's back in the area, and his mother's actually moved back in the area as well because of a career, a job move. But he's right here in the area, and so that was good. And like I said, Kai's here already on campus this spring. Like I said, Habib, Jaden Jones is another JUCO guy. Darren Scott. The list. I'm missing somebody.
You got to look at Jaden Jones, Kendrick Sims.
Kendrick Sims is a young man. He's actually from Hammond, who went to Pearl River. We got him from Pearl River Community College. And that's a good thing because he was already, familiarized with Southern and the Jaguar Nation. He has a brother that goes to school here as well. And so, that was I'm not gonna say an easy sell, but that was good because he already has family that's at Southern and attended Southern, so it made the transition a little smoother for him. So all those guys can. The thing about it, we were looking for size, we were looking for strength, we were looking for athletic ability, and guys that can run. You got to have guys that can run on defense. And I got that from Coach Richardson when I played for Coach at Winston-Salem State. If a guy couldn't run on defense, he couldn't play defense. And that was from the front to the back. So all those guys, they can run. Those guys are physical. They can change directions. They got great size. We got guys from the size anywhere from the high school guys. You got Sean Hamilton. You got Jonathan Ford, which I recruited Jonathan Ford. His dad, Jonathan Ford, played here at Southern with all the boys from Opelousas, all the Op boys back in the 90s and
the Hot Boys.
The Op boys.
Hot boys.
We had a number of guys from Opelousas, and it's good to have those guys back. As a matter of fact, we have a quarterback. I know we were talking about defense, but Malvo, Zacchaeus Malvo, who's the quarterback at Opelousas High, he signed with us, but he's a receiver. He's super fast. So we got a couple of guys from Opelousas back. So we trying to bring back the Hot Boys. So, but then back on defense, we got Sean Hamilton from Zachary High, and then we have Jonathan Ford from Opelousas High. And those guys are young, but those guys can run. They're physical. They can change directions. The goal was to get older because we needed older now, but we did do a great job. The defensive staff did a great job of identifying those guys and putting those guys in place. I will say this, out of our 7 or 8 high school guys, because we have a number of high school guys. 7 of those high school players have won state championships within the last 2 years.
Wow.
So, and we purposely did that because it's a mindset. Those guys are used to winning. Those guys are used to knowing what it takes to win and to work. As a matter of fact, I got a call or a text yesterday from one of the high school guys wanting the workout program that the guys are doing now, so he can start it while he's in his second semester of high school. So that just tells you the mindset that he has. But again, that was something that we looked at, in terms of trying to get. We're gonna recruit high school guys, and we got, when you're talking about, you're talking about we have two players from Zachary High School, two high school guys. We got two we got two high school guys from Zachary High. We got two from Edna Carr. We got one from Catholic High, Caden Jones, who plays corner. We got, of course, Amari Asbury, the running back. We have Nathan Zimmer, who's a kicker from Central High School. We have Malvo from Opelousas. And
I'm even looking, Coach, at the linebacker position. You got Jeremiah Coleman, Struma High School.
Struma High School. So, again, I told you, we're going to recruit. We're going to start off local, and then local is the entire state. So, we recruited well within locally and within the state. And, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to use the formula that's been successful for us. Other people choose to do it however they do it, but we have transfer portal guys, but we just believe that the foundation and the basis, you start off on your high school, then you go junior college, and then you get your transfers in from there. That's the formula that we use, and we're going to continue to use it because we know that it works. It's proven, and it's been proven, and it continues to work. Again, Jeremiah Coleman's a linebacker. We didn't lose a bunch of linebackers, so we were able to get him. He's an exciting, physical, explosive player. He was a two-way guy, and he's going to be a great addition to our linebacker room. On the back end, again, we had Caden Jones from Catholic High. He's a state championship program, a great program. He's very smart, young, athletic. We didn't have to go and get a bunch of older defensive backs because our secondary, we got guys that we have guys that are still sophomores and juniors. Got a couple of seniors, but for the most part, we don't have a very old secondary. We got a lot of guys that are playing and have experience, but we didn't lose a lot on the back end. So then we went and got Zay Franks. He's a corner. He's a 6'3" corner that's coming in from Southern Miss. We lose Rodney Johnson, so we go out and get a 6'3" corner from Southern Miss, which was huge. And then, we have Cody Morris, safety from Edna Carr.
Big pickup right there.
But, the one is Tariq Bagaya. He's number 6. He's the guy from Edna Carr. He is the bell cow of that group. And so to get him, Coach Miller was ecstatic about him. He loved it. He got Cody, and he kept telling me, he said, Coach, we got to get Tariq. We got to get Tariq. And I said, well, we're going to go after him. And we went after him. And the thing I like about Tariq was when I offered Tariq, he asked me for my number. And he said, Coach, I'm going to go home, talk to my mother. He said, can I call you back tonight? This was on Sunday. And I said, sure. I gave him my number. He called me back Sunday night, and he said, Coach, I talked it over, prayed about it. He said, Coach, I really like what you all are doing. I like the way we play, the whole nine. And he let me know he was going to be a Jaguar.
Yeah.
So that was huge. And for a young man to ask me for his number, for my number, because most of the time those guys going to call the coach that's recruiting them or the coordinator and tell them what they plan to do. But he asked me specifically for my number, so that says a lot about how mature he is and wanted to let me know himself what his plans were. And so, on the back end, we got 4 defensive backs, and the goal was to get a couple younger guys because we got older guys, but then we also got, again, we had to go and get Zay and a couple older guys to fill in for what we lost. And so it's on that side of the ball, we really locked in up front because that's, again, you build inside out, and you gotta have strength in numbers, especially in the trenches. And so that's what we wanted to do with Coach Everett Todd and Coach DeMarcus Miller did a really good job of securing those guys up front so that we would have the strength and the competitive edge that's needed up front. And again, to have the older guys, the junior college guys, the guys that are a little older, those guys have played college football. Those guys are excited and competitive and want to compete. And of course, the whole list of all the signees are posted everywhere, of course, and then you can go online and watch those guys' highlight films and things of that nature. But we're excited about the guys that we have, and those guys who decided to want to be part of our of what we're doing here at Southern University, because it's a two-pronged approach. You want the guys that want you, and you want the guys that want to be here.
And let me ask you this, Coach, real quick, about a minute and a half. Even special teams, because we know that was your thing when you first got here. What you got on special teams?
We got a long snapper, a really, really good long snapper, because we lost Braxton Blackwell because he's a senior, and he was all conference long snapper. But we got a young man named Connor Perry. He came in from Millsaps, and he's a guy that can snap it and he can cover. He's very athletic. He's a baseball player. He's a pitcher. He talked to me about pitching with the baseball team, and I got to link him up with. I told him to get with Coach Crenshaw and see what he could do with those guys. And then, of course, having Nathan Zimmerman, the state championship team at Central High School, went down and really did a great job of defeating Ruston High in this past state championship. And he can punt and kick, and he can kick the ball a country mile. And this is a young man that came to every home game, and he had offers to go other places. Thought he was gonna even his last visit. He canceled his last visit. Called me and told me that he was in the boat. He wanted to be a Jaguar. So we had to replace Joshua Griffin, who has a great leg, and this young man is another guy that, he's right here, right down the street, right here in the Baton Rouge area. The state championship team that wanted to be a part of what we're doing here at Southern University. And so to be able to get him another state champion, a guy that has a strong leg, can kick and punt, to go along with Kenny Sam and our punter from last year, that's going, again, it goes back to, we wanted to increase the competitive levels at every position. And I feel like we've done that. And, getting Brookshire and Caleb Webb. Brookshire's from U High. Webb is from Zachary High. You talking about state championship teams, young offensive line that's gonna grow and develop and mature. And again, having Hamilton, a defensive end from Zachary High. When was the last time Southern got two guys from Zachary High? And that was huge. And then to have Jones, the corner from Catholic High, and Coleman from Mastruma. It's just, we're going to continue, like I said, we're going to continue to pound on those doors, and beat the bushes, and the pavement, and the dirt roads, and, whatever we got to do to get the best players that we know that fit what we're trying to do here at Southern, and those guys that want to be here. And that's the key. You want guys that want to be here and want to be a part of something great. And so hats off to those young men who decided to be a part of what we're doing here at Southern University. We're excited, and we're looking forward to this upcoming season.
Thank you, Coach, for all, man. Listen, you done gave the people everything they should want when they want to know about this program. Anything else, they can go look it up. GoJagSports.com has the entire list of the National Signing Day class, along with, you can go research the names and get highlights. Before I let you go, Coach, I asked the same question on offense, on defense. Any changes on the defensive staff?
No, we still, everybody's intact. Coaches, I guess they like working with me. So we haven't had we haven't had and it changes, and that's good. I mean, of course, if guys get opportunities, and I told them after the season, hey guys, and then I'm always transparent. I said, guys, if opportunities present itself for you to improve yourself career-wise and for your family, by all means, let me know so that I can help and assist you, because this game, this profession is like that. When guys get opportunities to go other places and do other things, you wish them well. I mean, I know a lot of some coaches, you know, they want to keep everybody intact and keep things intact, and you know, and that's cool and that's good. But at the same token, you know, I'm never going to be a coach that's going to be upset because coaches decide to take a career path change to better themselves, regardless of where it is and what they want to do. And so, you know, that's the thing about it. You know, and we got guys that have opportunities, and it's still early. You never know. You know, after National Signing Day, there's a lot of moving parts. People are going here, people are going there. Coaches may be getting calls, you know, to be an addition, because I know also people like to, hey, when you start to do something well, then people try to pluck coaches from your staff, just like they try to pluck players from your team. So, you know, and if that's if that happens, we're gonna wish them well. If that's the case, we'll wish them well. But at the same token, we'll definitely there are enough. I have enough relationships with people. Again, relationships matter, to be able to bring in guys that will help us to continue to be what we want to be. And so, but as of right now, everybody's here, everybody's intact, and so we just gonna keep going forward and continue to get better each and every day, and do the things that we need to do to be champions on and off the field and in the community.
That is the voice of the head football coach at Southern University, my man, Coach Terrence Graves, giving us an inside look of what to look forward into the spring National Signing Day. No coaching changes in what we have in returning. Coach, man, I appreciate you for coming on this morning.
All right, thank you for having me, Perry. Enjoy the rest of your day. Go Jags.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Enjoy your day. Help everybody enjoy it. That you got an inside look. Look, I gave you everything you wanted, everything that you asked for. There you go. You got it. And if you want any more of that information, you go to gojagsports.com. Look at the 29 signees. Get a chance to get familiar with those guys. Coaches told you where they from, what they do, what they were looking for, the identity that they were looking for. Thank everybody for coming on this morning. Southern University head volleyball coach, Coach Don Barnes, Coach Carlos Funches on the women's side, Coach Kevin Johnson, as well as Coach Terrence Graves, talking to us about all the programs at Southern today as we get inside look. Southern men's and women's basketball taking on Alabama A&M today. We're also, once again, be sure to hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. Go follow us on and like our Facebook page. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify and YouTube under the Jaguar Journal. You can follow us on social media at X and Instagram at Jaguar Journal _, and as well as just type in the Jaguar Journal on Facebook. Follow our link tree and all of our social media outlets for any of that information. I want to thank my man Mike working through the technical difficulties today. I want to thank all the coaches, and of course, I want to thank myself, Perry White, for even getting up this morning. Thank you, Lord, for giving me another day to be able to get here in front of you guys and give you an insight about Southern University athletics. And be sure to tune in to the Super Bowl tomorrow, because the Eagles and the Chiefs will be playing, in Southern University's Human Jukebox marching band will be in the pregame. Give you something to look for and be excited about as Jaguars. So I want to thank you guys out there for tuning in this morning. As always, I love you, man. Hit that subscribe button and keep up with us. We will post the Facebook Live a little bit later today for those that didn't get a chance to catch it live because we had some technical difficulties. But want to thank you guys. Appreciate you. I'll be back next week at the same time in the same place, because always, it's the Jaguar Journal. Have a good day.
Driver, your
What's going on, everybody? I am Perry White. I'm the host of the Jaguar Journal. I want to make sure that you guys tune in live each and every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 107.3 FM. We also have our affiliates in Alexandria, Louisiana, as well as down in New Orleans. And if you're not able to catch us on radio live, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as follow us on Facebook. It's the Jaguar